Okay. Present value of dividends of a constant growth stock. So we have a stock with that in a vernacular of your homework problems just paid a dividend of $1.60. Those dividends are expected to grow at 5%, and investors require a 20% rate of return on the stock. So the so this is a dividend. The dividend is going to grow at 5%, so it's going to go up every year. Um, the When we value the stock, what we're doing is we're gonna calculate the future dividends. So D0 times 1 plus the growth rate, or 1.05. So the value of the dividend in year 20 is D0 times 1.05 to the 20th power. Um, we're going to see an application in just a second of the constant growth model. So the present value of each dividend is just that future dividend divided by, in this case, 1 plus the required rate of return, and that would be the 20th power. So the value of those dividends goes down. So the further out we go, the value of those dividends becomes less and less important. Truthfully, the vast majority of those, the value is in the next 15, 20 years. So, uh, so anyway, so that's the area under here. So it's the sum of all those the present values of all those future dividends, and we're going to show how that $11.20 is calculated on the next slide. So, uh, so P0, which is also can be V0, either one of them. So it's $1.60 equal to 1.6 times 1 plus 0.05, or 1.05, uh, divided by R minus G. So that's 0.20 is R, the required rate of return, minus 0.05, and calculate that out, and you should get a value of $11.20. So on these types of problems, the thing that you need to pay attention to is whether it's the, say, current dividend, or it might say just paid. Those all refer to D0. So if we have D0, we're going to have to apply a growth rate. If it says expects to pay, or anything like that, so, whoop, there we go, pay, expects to pay, that would refer to D1. So if we have D1, we can just divide D1 by R minus G, and we will get P0 or V0. So, special case of the constant growth model, where G equals 0. Um, this is also this is the how preferred stock is calculated. So, if the growth rate is of dividends is 0, then so this cancels out, and this cancels out. We end up with D divided by R. This is called a perpetuity. So, for example, simple example: if you own a share of preferred stock that pays a dividend of $10, and you require a rate of return of 10%, or 0.1. So the price, or P0, is just D over R. So That's 10 divided by 0.1, which is $100. So there is an example in your homework where you're given a par value and a dividend rate, and the dividend is equal to the par times the dividend rate. So you just calculate what that dividend is, but it's not going to change over time. So the expected rate of return of a constant growth stock is a function of the dividend yield, which is simply the expected dividend or expected dividend yield, next year's dividend divided by the current price, plus G, which is the expected growth rate, or it's also the capital gains yield. So those terms combined equal to the expected rate of return on the stock. So, all right, so next lecture we'll start with the non-constant growth model. There's a detailed workup of this problem in the problems section that I've posted.